Hey there, Riley Car Guy here, and today we're going to do a little budget trailer restoration. We've been looking for a little utility trailer to actually pull or sort of double tow behind our travel trailer, but we thought it'd be nice to have something like this around to have on the Xterra as well. So if we go up north, we can bring a quad or we can bring a couple dirt bikes, e-bikes, whatever we want to bring. It's easy to just throw on the back of the vehicle and tow it up. So we found this beautiful example on Facebook Marketplace for only 150 bucks, and we're going to try to keep the entire project under 500 to get ourselves a nice little utility trailer. So as far as what it absolutely needs, well, of course it's going to need lights, it's going to need all new wood, and it looks like the mounts for the leaf springs onto the axle have broken. So the previous owner did say that he used this to move hot tubs, so I can see why they broke those mounts. So let's start by taking all of this wood off and just seeing what else we need to do. This kind of looks like it's just sitting on here anyways. The guy, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's basically just sitting here, so this should be a very quick job. All right, that took about 10 seconds. All in all, it's really not in bad shape. I checked the registration and it is from the 70s and it spent its entire life in Michigan. So all in all, this is actually pretty good amount of rust for that. Here's our U-bolts holding onto the axle. As you can see, those are completely snapped off, so that's awesome. Same on the other side there. So I have a kit to fix that. And it looks like we might have a little bit of a leak there on the back of that hub. This one over here seems okay, or it's just really dry. Oh yeah. Well, every single one of these is breaking, so that's awesome. Had to expect that. We can cut them all off. All right, with the wood off, we went back and we got a little broom and cleared everything out, and it looks okay. Again, this is a super light duty trailer. This is gonna kind of be the retirement for this trailer. We're gonna take it real easy and never put much load on it. So I'm not terribly worried about what's, the condition of it. I am gonna go around, however, and snap off the bottom of all these screws. And they had really, really long screws and they're all sticking out of the bottom. So I just wanna make sure that, if we grab under it for something, we're not gonna stab our fingers with some rusty metal. So after we do that, we're gonna go spray it down, make sure it's clean, make sure it's dry, and then spray bomb it. All right, we have all the screws out of the bottom, making sure we don't cut our fingers. And now I'm just gonna hit it with some coarse sandpaper, just to get some, basically just the main rust off, anything that's flaking, get that all removed. And then, like I said, we're just gonna hit it with some black Rust-Oleum paint and move on. So is it anywhere near perfect? Of course not. Really, like I said, all we did was take the sort of chunky rust off. And if I were, redoing this to like flip and sell on to the next guy, obviously we'd put a lot more work into it. But for me, I'm just trying to get a couple years out of it till we upgrade to something else. So at this point, he's just getting all the dust off. We're gonna wipe it down with something wet, get all the rust dust off, and then hit it with the paint. All right, we're nearly done painting, and for a spray bomb job, they are what they are, and we cover what we cover, but from 15, 20 feet away, it looks pretty good. So We're gonna leave it like it is. Notice we didn't care about hitting the tires. We have a new set of tires and rims that we're gonna put on it. We're also not painting the axle. I might eventually just throw a new one on here so we won't have to worry about that. But next up is the light kit, and looks like we're gonna have to wait on that because Amazon's next day shipping hasn't been next day lately. So we gotta wait on that to come in, and then as soon as it does, we'll show you how to install that. One thing we can do, however, is the axle mount. So we're gonna swap those out and then wait for other parts to come in. All right, swapping these out should be pretty easy. We just have to get our impact, you know, obviously pull off your nuts on the U-bolt, put on our new one. Okay, snapped right off, excellent. I guess if they all snap off, this won't be too bad then, right? Might as well try to snap off this last. Oh no, it's already broken, isn't it? Yeah. Looks like there's some sort of shim on it, which I guess I'll just leave. Yeah, I'll leave that alone. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I was buying quite the upgrade. Look at that plate there. This is like a, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 inch steel. And then the U-bolts are much, much heftier, so that's pretty cool. But now all we do is throw that plate on, get our U-bolts lined up. These are giant locking nuts, so I'm gonna run those down with an impact. You're supposed to put these down in a cross pattern. All right, looking good. All right, these tires are absolutely clapped, so we're gonna get some new ones and throw them on. I did have a lot of trouble sourcing these. I want to get them at an actual store, so the ones that I found ended up with a larger hub hole in the center, so it's a little bit frustrating. We'll still put it on now because we're not gonna tow with it right away, but I am gonna get some hub-centric rings after I install these and make sure that it has a tight fit around that hub. But for now, we're just gonna slap these on with the bigger center hole. Slides right off, grabbing our new one. And you can see there, see how sloppy it is in here? You can see that ring all the way around. I just got to get some proper rings that slide in there and hold it in place. Technically, these are the tapered lug nuts that would kind of hold it centered, but I just want to be careful and make sure that we don't get any vibrations driving down the road. All right, so far so good. Really pleased with how it's coming out. We already have the wood purchase. You'll notice it has this nice offset strip here. When we did the measurements, we noticed it was 6 feet by 8 feet. And I was thinking to myself, I really hope that they set it up for a 2x8 and a 4x8, which sure enough they did. So very pleased about that. The reason I like that so much is, well, home improvement stores sell 2x8s and 4x8s pre-cut. So we did already purchase that. We bought pressure treated ground contact plywood. So we're gonna put that on, but I wanna do it after the electric. It'll be much easier to just run all of our wires while this is all exposed, but those lights are still in the mail and we need to order our hub-centric rings anyways. So we're gonna go do that and then we'll meet back up and finish this project. We got pretty lucky because whoever had this before definitely destroyed all the wiring and there's no lights in the rear, but they did leave the harness in here, which is nice because that will allow us to basically just cut this off and then use it to pull it through its original channel and get the wiring to the back of the trailer. So I'm just gonna pull this out a little bit from the rear. You'll see it comes out back here. Feed a little bit more in there. There we go. Snip it off, get our new wiring. I'm just gonna get some duct tape I have lying around here, lay them together and tape them up. Doesn't have to be anything special as it's very temporary. So now we just need to take this, pull it out, make sure it feeds in here without separating, and then just pull till we get our new wires out here. There we go. Easy as that. Then I just back this tape off and then just pull it the rest of the way through until we have the length that we want at the front. Now that it's back here, we want the yellow to go to the left if you're facing forward and the green to go to the right. I'm just gonna use zip ties on the big pieces here and I'm gonna have it kind of run on the front. And then once it gets to the side, we're actually gonna end up splitting it off to get it to the little marker lights. I'm gonna bring each side up to where the light's gonna go, of course. And then I'm gonna trim off the excess. Then I'm gonna use the excess to split off the brown on each side to go to the marker light. So you have a white and a brown on your marker lights. White is gonna be your ground. Brown is gonna be the signal, right? The power. But I'm gonna run and make sure I get all the wiring to the taillights first. And then this kit's like 24 feet long. So obviously we're gonna have a lot of excess. For the side, I'm gonna run it with these. These came with a little light kit. They will basically clip onto the side of the metal and then you just run it inside of this little channel here. We are left with a ton. We're actually going to put the lights back a little bit, mostly so you can, well, when we tilt it, we're not going to be hitting the lights or the license plate into the ground. So I'm just going to make sure I have enough to wire it up. That should be more than enough. So we'll just snip it here, and all this excess can be used to get to the marker light. Now for this part, we just come back to the front crossbeam, and we just split off our 2 wires. There we go. And then once you have them split off, you have these little tap lines that they should come with your kit. If they don't, they're pretty cheap. But anyways, you grab that, you push it in the first one, then grab your brown wire. Then you take this one and you slide it in the open side. And then when you pinch them together, it's going to tie the 2 wires together without having to cut it and splice into it. We will cinch it shut. And then you really should tape this up. These are really not the best connectors for this type of environment, but if you protect it, it should be okay for a while. At this point, we're just going to throw the wood on, start securing it, and then get our lights on. All right, we have them laying in here, but we can't get them to go all the way inside the frame. It's very likely the frame's just out of square, or these are not cut exact, which neither of those would be surprising. So we're likely gonna have to trim just a little bit off of this one. I was really hoping to avoid cuts, but it is what it is. So what we'll do is we'll secure this one down because this one is in place. It looks good. We are using wood to metal screws. We are going to pilot these out so we don't split the wood, and then just secure it in a couple places. So we ripped actually almost a ½ inch off of the long side and then a little bit off the short side so we could just easily slap it in. So got to get the rest of the screws. All right, this thing's starting to look like a utility trailer. So all we have left to do is to put our lights on. I bought bolt-on brackets. So I know usually they're welded on, but if we hit anything with them or they get broken in any way, they can just easily be removed and new brackets can go on. So let's get those installed so we can get our lights wired up. So here's the bracket, and a link for this and everything else that I'm using will be down in the description below. So this spot here, which is about 2 feet forward from the back of the trailer, is where we're gonna mount our little lights. And I already have an existing hole here I can use, and then possibly expand one of these, we'll see. Not really, but I just want to avoid drilling additional holes because this is a pretty thick steel. So I got these with the little square shoulder here that are made for it. Just got these over at Lowe's. Throw the bracket in, and then once we line it up and get it tightened, then this is already our guide for our next hole. All right, I'll see you in about 2 to 3 business days. So now we just need to grab our light and make our connections. For the lights, it was really simple. I just used waterproof butt connectors and made sure that I wired up the brown to the brown and the green to the green on the right side. For the ground, I just took a little metal screw and I screwed it into the side of the trailer. And then I ended up doing the same thing for the main ground from the harness at the front of the trailer. So all in all, this is a pretty simple project. We just had to replace the things that needed to be replaced and add some lights and wiring to it. I think it's gonna be a great little light duty trailer to throw on the back of our travel trailer, or like I said, on the back of the Xterra when we go up north to bring up all sorts of things. To be honest, I haven't done the math yet. I hope I'm around my $500 budget, so I'll just put it on the screen here to show you everything that we bought and what the total ended up being. But that's gonna be it for this video. If you like this video, please go ahead, click that like button. Any questions, comments, or suggestions, put them down in the comments below. Subscribe for more content like this, and we'll see you in the next one.